Los Angeles is a city of many flavors where cultures mix and create something uniquely beautiful. And while tacos might get all the headlines, there's another dish that's just as embedded in the fabric of this place, the humble yet mighty pupusa.
Wow, it's like a curtain pool.
But venture beyond the pupusa and you'll find a culinary landscape ripe with diversity, steaming broths, and bold, inventive dishes that challenge the palate. Now, if you don't know what a pupusa is or why it's become a staple in this city, don't worry, you're about to find out.
Ooh.
I've been going to restaurants on my own for a long time, but today I thought it would be a fun idea to let somebody else show me around. Woo! Look at that.
Tucked in the heart of Southeast Los Angeles, opened in January 2019, Rio Limpa is a sanctuary for Salvadoran flavors.
There's so many iconic Mexican restaurants that you could easily find the history on,
right.
But I can't just Google like what's the oldest Salvadoran restaurant.
Not to plug myself too shamelessly, but that's sort of the mission that I'm on. So when I write about these places, it's because I'm getting to sit down with them and hear these stories that maybe nobody's really taken the time to hear before.
Eric Valle is one of those people who lives and breathes the food scene. A Salvadorian by heritage and a writer for the LA Times and Eater LA, Eric's made it his mission to uncover the hidden culinary gems of Los Angeles.
So vamos a agarrar unas pupusitas, una revuelta, una de queso con camarón, deme una de loroco y también una mojarra. O sea, se acaba de picar con la comida salvadoreña y anda clavado. Ahorita va a cambiar todo el rollo. Forget authentic, just really good Salvadoran food.
That's what I'm here for, just delicious food, that's it, right?
It's one of my mom's favorite spots in the city of Huntington Park, and right on cue we have the frescos.
Oh, that's the horchata right there, huh? Okay. Different from a Mexican horchata.
It's very different. Even the color, you can tell it's very different. So where Mexican horchata is essentially toasted, blended rice with some cinnamon in it, sugar and milk, but the main ingredient for horchata del Salvador is morro, which is tiger nut. But I think you'll find that it's a little bit more rich in flavor.
Horchata has always been a bit of a gamble for me. Sometimes too sweet, sometimes just off.
Ooh, yeah. That's pretty good right there.
Between you and me, this one just might take the cake.
Ooh, look at that.
Y la mojarra para el amigo, para el chero.
Wow.
Gracias. This is actually a very typical summer dish. I mean, when pretty much any culture, right? Summer hits, you want to fry something. And for us, it's mojarra.
There's something honest about a perfectly fried mojarra. Here at Rio Limpa, it's done just right. Golden and crispy on the outside, tender and flaky within.
Oh, that's great.
This isn't about dressing up a dish with unnecessary extras. It's about celebrating the fish itself. Seasoned simply, fried quickly, and served hot.
No, that's not for me. That's for you, man.
That's for me?
Yeah. All right. I'll take one for the team right here. I always feel like I'm getting set up. You would never eat this, would you?
Yeah.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
This is it?
Eyeball,
so I'm taking the eyeball from you?
Yeah, you don't like head meat?
All right, we're just going to eat it with the pupusa instead of just on its own. Nice little pop in your mouth.
It's optical caviar.
But the real stars of today are the pupusas.
All right, I got to see your technique here.
Okay, I'll show you my technique. Get a good amount, all right?
Here, they're not just food, they're a craft. Perfectly griddled, not a hint of grease. Each one is warm, cheesy, embrace of loroco blossoms and rich masa.
Wow. That was the queso con loroco. Loroco is a flower bud, basically. It's native to Central America. It's super popular in Salvadoran cooking. You could eat loroco with eggs in the morning. Oh, you got that cheesy, shrimpy pupusa.
Oh, that's the shrimp one, right?
Wow. So one thing you definitely don't want to do is be afraid to eat with your hands, man. And I'm proud of you, David. Watching you eat pupusas with your hands, that brought me like legitimate joy. Grab your cheesy pupusa bit on top, use your other finger to support it.
That's the bite right there.
Now you
will get kicked out of a party using a knife and fork.
It might be frowned upon.
Yeah.
If you're already invited to the party, they might like you enough to let you slide, but You might not get invited to the next one.
That's it.
Oh, we got another dish coming out.
Look at this right here. Look at the color on that.
Tucked between the hearty mains at Rio Limpa, we dabble into the local fast food lore with pastellitos de pollo, crisp golden turnovers stuffed with seasoned chicken and crackles with each bite.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Very good.
Salvi dumplings here.
Well,
And for a sweet pivot, these plantain flour pastries, bulging with custard, offer a lush, creamy reprieve from the savory feast.
And then you want to do the sugar because it's meant to be sweet. It's meant to be a palate cleanser and a dessert.
Oh,
yeah,
not
go
too
for
crazy.
it, man.
Okay.
These babies right here, not everybody can pull these off, believe it or not.
Oh,
So
they're soft. I thought they were okay.
you'll get them once in a while because it'll be like one tia in your whole family that is able to
that's
make
it.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
And you rarely see her.
Yep. That's delicious right there. You described what it was, but I wasn't ready for that texture, and it's great.
When this caramelizes, it just releases so much sweetness on its own. The custard is just like, you know, a little add-on.
I need to find a dozen of these. That was great. Eric, the first spot was great. Now we're in the city of Whittier, so where are we at now?
So we are at Civar Treats. Civar actually is a fun nickname that we have for El Salvador. So this lets you know sort of this isn't your regular traditional spot. So I think you're ready to try some familiar flavors, but the delivery is going to be a little bit unique.
Got it, man. I'm excited. Let's go check it out, guys.
Here in Whittier, at a spot called Civar Treats, the usual suspects, like Eric's beloved sopa de gallina.
For me, even though it's peak summer, I gotta get some sopa.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean,
sopa de gallina is one of my favorites here.
It's only like 95 degrees outside.
Only,
so.
that's it, dude. That's it. Besides, the more you sweat, the faster your body cools off. I'm just saying.
All right.
This place takes the humble pupusa and spins it on its head, serving up versions packed with everything from birria to habanero.
Yeah, so I see they have some unique pupusas from around the world. I love it.
The Madrid sounds good. Jamón serrano, mushrooms and cheese.
I think we got to get that one.
I think so
definitely
too.
want to try that one.
Here, pupusas aren't just a meal, they're a manifesto. We're trying the classics and some daring new twists. Birria, habanero, and some chimichurri ones from their worldly menu that challenges everything we thought we knew about these staples.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Nice.
Oh, yes,
Sopa de gallina.
Wow. Yes. Wait, so is this all one dish right here?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
The star of the show?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Buenos Aires, Madrid, and Mexicana.
Wow. So these look a little bit different. So I noticed that they do things somewhat non-traditional way here. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think it's sort of like the next step in the cuisine from El Salvador, the community just really showing themselves. And for these guys in particular, they're not afraid to kind of let the ingredients shine. You know, they're in the pupusa form, but they're meant to have their own personalities.
From the smoky layers of the birria-filled Mexicana
You like it?
to the sophisticated notes of the Madrid jam-packed with jamón serrano and mushrooms, each stuffed with flavors bold enough to make a purist raise an eyebrow and a foodie reach for another.
They got that little nice crust on there. It's great. How would your mom feel about these types of pupusas?
She would love the birria.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. So she would be accepting.
She would be open.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
Accepting. You might have to work up to accepting.
Got to get the sopa on a hot summer day.
Bro, you know that meme is true to its word. You know, and my mom always it hits peak summer and it's caldo de res, sopa de gallina, like we're having here. There's nothing like
Delicious?
it, man, honestly.
Oh, very good.
It's such a good broth, super veggie heavy. You see all the protein
all the
comes
greens
on the side,
Yep.
which I think is cool. Like you get this piece of pollo a la plancha on the side. So you got the nice crispy grilled skin and it stays that way because it doesn't get soggy in the actual broth.
While Eric savors the layered complexity of his favorite chicken soup, I dive into a pan con pollo. That's anything but ordinary. Every bite is a mix of tradition and a leap of faith into new culinary territories. This is where Salvadorian cooking meets Los Angeles imagination. And trust me, it's a tasty rendezvous.
Maybe a little more Instagrammable here, huh?
This is honestly the way they've served it is like for a party.
Okay.
Whereas in your own home, having it for a regular dinner, you may not be so elaborate on your presentation.
Right.
But when you're at a quinceañera or a birthday party or something like that,
You might get it like this.
Yeah, you're gonna go hard with the beets and with the hard-boiled egg.
All right. With that coleslaw, it kind of gives me chicken salad type vibes right there because the mayo and the coleslaw is mixing in with the chicken, but very good taste.
It doesn't have to be in the taco form or a pupusa form, but that quality is unmistakable, you know what I mean?
Thanks for having us out, man. Yeah, I am stuffed. Just like this sandwich was stuffed.
My wife and I started this because, you know, we were inspired by sort of like what was happening in Boyle Heights, this process called gentrification, where people from the community are investing back into their community responsibly, you know, like intentionally, not trying to displace, but like trying to enhance and do it in a way that's kind of resonating with the culture.
In the culinary hood of Montebello, where culture and innovation blend seamlessly, we find ourselves at Boulevard Market, a vibrant food hall that's becoming the launching pad for the next wave of food entrepreneurs.
I think for us, we're like, how do we show this different version of ourselves? This more like elevated place that feels like it's a mixture of all the things that feel connecting to us.
Here, I meet with Barney Santos, a mastermind in the art of infusing business with community spirit. His latest venture not only spices up the local economy, but dishes out a hefty serving of culture.
We've seen sort of an explosion over the last few years, at least in my perception, for pupusas going into every neighborhood that I go on street corners selling the pupusas next to the tacos.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think as the Salvadoran community, the diaspora has been growing in the United States, we've seen so many different vendors come up. And what's cool to see, I think, is how they've been evolving with like the younger generation starting to take hold of it. You know, like Wendy and Donnie, right? Like Wendy's Salvadorian and she has a vegan option. Like that stuff is not necessarily, you won't find that in El Salvador, right?
Right.
Cut to Chef Wendy, owner of Bichos, a food hall within Boulevard Market, whose hands craft the flavors of El Salvador, with a twist as unique as the streets of LA.
Depends on what part of El Salvador are you from. In las revueltas, they put only chicharrón and cheese, or they put chicharrón, bean, and cheese. I'm from Sonsonate, so we put chicharrón, bean, and cheese in this one. Bichos started in 2011. Donnie and I, my husband and I, we used to have the small, tiniest truck, the old school trucks.
Yeah.
And that's how we started driving all over LA, introducing a lot of people what's a pupusa. Our mission back then, and still to this day, is to introduce the pupusas in scenarios what had never been before. And people didn't know what a pupusa was in a lot of places that we used to go back then.
Oh, so excited for this. Delicious. And now what do we have right here?
So this is chicharrón with yuca. These thick pieces, like they just, see,
Oh,
it's that perfect texture of like crispy on the outside, but like meaty, squishy on the inside, right? Salud.
Salud.
Cheers. Yeah, big fan of yuca. So good.
All right.
That reminds me of my childhood. My mom would make yuca all the time. It's so good.
Again, that was great. I can't wait to dig into this. Look at how cheesy that is right there. Man, you know that's gonna be good right there.
The classic revuelta, brimming with pork, beans, and cheese, is a highlight, each bite a rich testament to Salvadorian culinary heritage.
They do them right here. I love their pupusas. It had been a while since I had it, and that was delicious right here. So nice and cheesy. They get the masa just right.
This is a revuelta, it looks like. Yeah, honestly, it's one of my favorite ones. It's like a combination of pork and cheese.
I feel like everything definitely here is like just a little bit elevated.
Believe it or not, like obviously Salvadorian, I try all the pupusa places I can. I have maybe like 3 places that are like my top, and I just feel like Bichos is definitely one of those places. They're so good.
Yep.
The fusion and adaptation of traditional Salvadorian dishes, celebrating how local chefs like Wendy are reimagining familiar flavors to resonate with a diverse Los Angeles.
Food evolves, right? But I feel like what's happening now in Salvadorian cuisine is interesting because you go to the best restaurants, like Michelin star places, you're gonna find like Hondureños, like Guatemalans, Salvadorians just getting down in the back, right?
Right.
And so you have this like emerging class of like people with a great pedigree that are learning how to cook from the best places. And now they're starting to infuse all that elevated technique and applying it to their own cuisine that they're familiar with the tradition.
Yes.
I think that's where you're gonna start seeing Salvadorian take to a new level. So it's gonna be exciting.
And that gets me excited. And we're seeing it.
This isn't the stuff that pops up on Yelp or gets written up in the glossy magazines. It's hidden away in small joints where the menu might throw in a burger just to keep the kids happy. But the real magic is happening in the kitchen, behind the scenes, away from the spotlight. We are here to pull Salvadoran food out of the shadows, not by dressing it up to fit some passing trend, but by letting it stand strong and true.
The perfect bite right here.
And in a city where everyone's looking for the next big thing, sometimes the real treasures are found off the beaten path, like those tiny, unassuming restaurants where the best meals aren't just served, they're experienced.